Good morning, my beloved friends. I wish that I could stand before you and see each of your faces. I wish that I could really connect to you physically. However, thank God for technology. I can speak to you and I can share with you in this way. And I come to you with great humbleness and gratitude and awareness. This has been a challenging time, filled with opportunities, potentials, hard work, battles for each one of us. Each one of us uniquely have had our own little experience and retreat within ourselves. And I must say, I've been in awe of the amount of resources, inspiration, readings, videos, poems, songs that have emerged during this time of lockdown and have come to us to inspire us, to motivate us, to encourage us, to reveal to us. And I'm so grateful for all of this. However, it also becomes much, I'm sure, like many of you too. There are some times that I do not open every video or I do not listen to everything at once because it almost feels like, wow, this is too much. And that almost brings me to this point of, well, what do I share with you that you have not heard before? What is it that I say to you that you need for this coming week? Because there is actually so much on the internet, on Facebook, on our WhatsApps, on everywhere, that I almost ask myself, so what is it that you need? What is it that you need to hear? And all I can speak of is of myself and my own experience. And it reminds me of what Ramtha so often teaches us, is that there must come a time when you have to start putting this philosophy into practice. You have to start experiencing this philosophy and allowing yourself to feel this philosophy so that you can become it, so that you can make it a knowingness and not just a philosophy. And I guess the same challenge is there for us, is that yes, there are a lot of beautiful stuff, but so many of us, we just ooh and ah from a mental perspective. Some of us just ooh and ah, and we can identify with it emotionally and we merge ourselves, taking us back to where we can identify with. But so many of us have still not made it our truth or have become it. And I'm sure, as with me, so too you have been aware and you've come across many unfinished business in your life. Drawers that you haven't sorted out for a long time, files that need clearing, recipe books that need to be sorted. Opportunities have come to us to actually take note, to actually participate, to actually take action and make that recipe, clear that desk, paint that wall, finish that jersey, etc., etc. Many of us have come across stuff that we've been holding on to because we were hoping it would do something for us, and we've realized, you know what, it's okay to let it go. And we have freed some space in our lives so that we could experience life a bit more. Because all this unfinished business, be it externally or be it internally, the unfinished business emotionally, mentally, in the form of beliefs that we've adopted as young children, maybe even in previous lifetimes, about ourselves, beliefs that we are not worthy, beliefs that we are not good enough, beliefs that, can I trust myself, etc., etc. Those are unfinished business that our soul records as unfinished business because we have not allowed it to reveal the truth. And so we keep on holding on to this baggage, and our soul records this. And in our next lifetime, as we are planning it, that soul's agenda gets into our cells, into our DNA. And it's almost like an unseen and unknowing WhatsApp signal that goes out into the universe. And it attracts exactly the person, the place, the thing, the time and event that we need to experience, to make into manifestation, so that we can change it into wisdom. However, so many times we just engage the emotion over and over again. We engage the belief system over and over again, but we do not allow the truth to emerge. And it stays unfinished. It stays a program stuck inside us, unfinished, and waiting for us to make it truth and knowingness. And so I have become aware of some of my old baggage within myself, without judgment, because we are all there. Do not think that you are exempt from this. We have all got unfinished business, unfinished emotions and philosophy that we have not emerged to find the truth. And you will know what I speak about when I say, like, we keep on attracting the same kind of situation, the same kind of person, the same kind of event, the same kind of pattern in our lives. And that makes us feel a victim. That makes us feel angry and we want to perpetrate. Or it makes us take action and want to reiterate and rescue and prove and do. We all have that. But it's time for us, in the silence of this lockdown, is to listen and to ask ourselves challenging questions of, what am I supposed to remember? Because the truth is inside you. This belief system, this unfinished business, is just covering the truth. And as I release this, and as I obey and not take personally the messages coming from people, places, things, times, and events, and I allow myself to unpack that, I can find the truth. I can find the truth that says, you are okay. You have always been worthy. Your worth has always been divine. You are powerful. You have a choice. And whatever it is, your soul also wants to remind you of. And so my challenge is for us all is that, who will we be after this lockdown? What choices are we going to make? What are we going to choose? What wisdom and knowingness will we leave this lockdown with? How easily don't we fall back into the old habits of thinking, of feeling, of believing? Let us write down these truths about our being. Let us own it. Let us let go and burn away the past programs that we've been carrying for us for lifetimes, that have brought us back, that have kept on attracting the similar patterns in our life. Let us become more than the program. Let us become more than this philosophy. Let us become. Ramtha always says, overcome, overcome, overcome to become. And I think that we have all, in our own unique ways, have been on this tremendous journey, this retreat, this discovery within ourselves. Many of us have had a struggle because we have realized how in denial we have been, how we've been avoiding certain things because we have an excuse to work, or we have an excuse to go to town, or to meet up with friends, to have another drink, to do another social activity, rather than look in, take stock, make wisdom, and let go of the past, let go of the drama. But we are all, in a way, we've become addicted to the drama, and we love how the drama makes us feel and the roles that drama allows us to play. But we are trapped in that. We are enslaved by it. We are not free, and we are not living our greatest truth, our greatest life. And so I've been so blessed on my journey, and I can only share my journey with you, hoping that it will make sense and help you make sense of yours. Nature has always been my greatest teacher. And I have had such connections with nature. I've had such amazing experiences with nature during this time. One of them, I must tell you, I have a fear of bats. I'm not afraid of a bat outside, but when a bat is in my space, in that confined space, oh my gosh, I paralyze. I promise you, I fear, I paralyze. I can lie on the ground until someone comes to save me. And in this last 3 weeks, 2 weeks actually, I've had 4 bats in my house. And I live by myself with 7 dogs and a cat. And I've had to overcome that fear. I've had to find resources within myself to remind myself who I am, to overcome this fear, to release it. I've had to ask for help. I've had to sleep with a bat. I've had to do amazing stuff. And when I studied what bat medicine really is, it was amazing how the bat resembles death and rebirth. And it is a time to let old attitudes, beliefs, old unfinished business, old perceptions to die, and to redefine ourselves, to redefine myself of who I am and who I am becoming, and to every day have to define that, because that old program wants to play, that old record wants to play. It is such a habit, it is such a comfort zone. And I have had life send me messages that I've wanted to become frustrated and agitated and a victim and alone and tearful. And then I've realized, no, life is trying to say, for God's sake, look inside you and find your own truth. And I've had to dig and detach from the people, places, things, times, and events that have brought me messages. And I've had to take that message and say, what is it that I need to know? What is it that I need to make knowingness? And my own soul and my own spirit and my own being, the Lord God of my being, has been able to come up and reveal to me who I really am. Not that I haven't known that. I've had the philosophy of that. But to experience who I am, that is the amazing gift that lockdown has given me. And I've had to let go of those programs because I wish to have this freedom. I wish to be who I really am. I wish to know in every situation, in every opportunity, who I am. And so I encourage you to not be afraid by those messages, by those patterns that life keeps on sending you. I'm asking you to embrace it. What I beautifully got for myself, almost, I think 2 years ago, I was on holiday for the first time on my own, which was a wonderful experience and a challenging one. And I was walking on the beach one morning and this phrase just came into my head. You have to embrace your emptiness so you can experience your wholeness. And yes, it was philosophy for a long time. And I know it made sense and it was beautiful and I could feel part of it. But it's only during this lockdown that I've really allowed myself to experience it and become it. And what I've learned is that wholeness is such a beautiful thing. It's inclusive. Wholeness is inclusive of every little scar, every hole, every drop, every joy, every pain of your being. Wholeness has no exclusivity. It is us who exclude ourselves from our wholeness because of judgments, because of fears, because of unfinished business, because of past experiences that we have made our truth, which is not meant to be truth, but just experience. And so I encourage you to continue your journey knowing yourself. It's the oldest truth that has always been asked and said, man, know thyself. And again, we are given this amazing opportunity to be in lockdown. And yes, there's many conspiracies and there's many theories and there's many fightings and there's many things. But let's not forget the gift of this. Let us not indulge too much in the drama and the story and the content of this. But let us make use and let us ask ourselves those questions. Who are you going to be after this lockdown? What knowledge, what knowingness, what becoming will you be after this? How easily will you fall back into old ways? How easily will you just fall back into comfort zones? Let us take this opportunity to remember who we really are. Let us find the truth of our being, because it is the truth that shall set us free. Not my truth, not that man's truth, your own personal truth about yourself. In your soul has an agenda. That agenda is there for you to become greater and to remove those things, those belief systems, those emotions, that philosophy that stops us from being that. So I hope that my talk makes sense to you. I hope that you can feel what I'm trying to share with you. May God give us the strength to be open, to embrace honesty and truth, so that we can engage in our wholeness and our greatness and make this reality the best that we have ever experienced. Thank you for sharing this morning with me. Thank you for allowing me to sit down and share with you some of my musings. I love you, I appreciate you, and I thank each and every one of you who have been part of my reality, that has brought me a message, that has pushed me to find myself, that has brought me the opposite of what I've needed, because it's in that opposite that I have discovered my wholeness. It is in the lack of your acknowledgement, the lack of your connection, whatever it was. I say thank you. Thank you for serving me, because I also believe that all of us come from a plane of bliss where we met, contemplating our next lifetime and what it is and how we're going to set up this next lifetime so we can conquer some of this unfinished business. And I know that we made a pact with each other. We made a pact that one day we would bump into each other and we would remind each other. We would encourage each other. We would push each other so that we could embrace the greatness dream that we had, that planned this lifetime. Do not think that you're being punished. Do not think so. You've created this life. You and your soul and your spirit sat with that unfinished business and said, what life will I create that would make me realize, that would allow me to become? And we have chosen this one. Let us see the bigger picture and let us embrace each other. Let us love each other and appreciate how we have made this pact to serve each other. Thank you for allowing me to serve you, and thank you for serving me. God bless us all.